Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Alliance Forever. Today, I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 up here in the northwest, ending with Team 2 in the southeast. Starting off with the southwesternmost player on Team 1, and I will slow down before I forget. It is Team 1's Aeon player of one of their Aeon players, at least, of Hayden going first land as a Chevy Crimson Aeon. He is a 1500. To his east in Imperial Group, we have Snog going first land as a Seraphim. He is an 1800 going first land. To his northwest, we have the rearguard air slot player of Brinko Insanity going first land as a Cybern. As an 1800 in orange, the color orange. In Pac-Man Yellow, responsible for the coloration of the scoreboard for his team, it is Nightblood going first land as the other Aeon here for Team 1. He is a 1700. And last but not least here in the northeast, in Batman Gray, we have the Wheelie going first land as another Cybern here for Team 1. He is the highest rated player on his team and tied for the highest rated player of the game at 2500. So Team 1 has 3 of the 4 factions represented. They are missing UEF. They have 2 Aeon, 2 Cybern, and 1 Seraphim. Starting out for Team 2's blue player, it is Terrari going first land as a Seraphim, the highest rated player on Team 2. In Stitch Blue, he is a 2500 going first land. He is the one tied with Team 1's the Wheelie for highest rated player in the game. To his northeast, the best color in the game, it is the forest green player of Karl Marx going first land as a Seraphim. He is a 1700. And in the east, in glow-in-the-dark green, we have L to the Aeon as, well, an Aeon going first land. He is an 1800 in the rearguard air slot. To the far north in light oak tan, we have Babel going first land, second land as well. He is a 1400. He is the lowest ranked player in the game, but he is a Cybern, and I think he'll do perfectly fine. And to his southwest, the last player to be introduced here, he is a 1900. He is in Snow White, and his name is BRSD-CCC-97. And again, he is an Aeon. So for Team 2 side of things, they also have 2 Aeon. They have 2 Seraphim instead of 1 Seraphim, and they have 1 Cybern instead of 2. So the difference between Team 1 and Team 2 are Team 1 have 2 Cyberns and 1 Seraphim. Team 2 has 2 Seraphim and 1 Cybern. And if you notice, there are no UEF at all in this game, so apologies to those. I don't know what the tagline for UEF is, because usually there's a UEF at least in most of the matches that I've casted. I don't know. I'll have to come up with some sort of tagline, but I will figure that out. And it is that time to talk about the reclaim situation currently still on the map. For 10 players, we have 13,000. So say it was a little bit over that, so probably about 14,000. So 1.4k mass per player. That's a decent amount of mass to scoop up. And in terms of mass point layouts, wow, we have a lot. Taking, let's say, Team 2 side of the map here, for example, there are Trimax position in the northeast. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 Quad Mechs positions and another dual Trimax positions, plus a lot of 1s, maybe a 2 there. But there is a decent amount of mass points to scoop up in the map. There's might be a little bit of fighting going over here in the southwest and northeast section because there's kind of a one-offs there. But the middle should be essentially this base versus this base, shooting a bunch of stuff at one another. And there also is a couple of plateau mexes, but it's not really that many to go after. Oh, and there's also a quad mechs in the rear for the rearguard air slot player if he so chooses to go for that, which at least Team 1's Brinko Insanity is going to do that, and it does look like Team 2's Elder the Aeon will do that as well. So with mass points discussed, reclaim discussed, introductions have been made. Let's go speed this game up back to 0 and see how the game is kicking off. We do see 4 of the 5 comms here for Team 2 leaving their main bases. We see 1, 2, 3 comms for Team... Oh, nope. The 4th one has made the move order to go eastward. So all of the frontline comms for both teams are headed towards one another. We do see a couple of Team 1 scouts here from Team 2's Terrari going out trying to harass Team 1's Hayden's units. He's going after the engineers, at least at a minimum. But there are a couple of Team 1 Aurora to be able to bap those away. Oh, there is a Selen going after that engineer. Engineer does get out of range. Unfortunately, there is a Tham chasing that Selen, but that Selen will get 1 kill. Nope. That is the first engineer death. No. That is the first engineer death of the game. And hopefully with my adjustments to the reclaim, not icon size, the text size, there we go. You're able to see that a lot easier. I adjusted that while in between the two recordings. I recorded today's and yesterday's video on the same day. I have changed. I'm still, again, I'm one of those people that likes to constantly tweak settings, mess with things, make it better, whatever the case may be. So I've changed the encoder settings for this video and the previous video. So we'll see how that all goes. One is an AVI, which is this one, and one is a HEVC 265 encoder. I noticed with the previous video, it was 40 gigabytes for an hour, and that's a lot. That's a really big file. So hopefully this one is not as big, but we'll just see after the recording, because I don't know how big it is until after I'm done. So that's definitely, the disadvantage in that regard, of course. That is a future me problem, not a present me problem. But we do have some units grouping up here in the east here for Team 2. Looks like it is going to be 2v2 here. Yeah, it looks like 2v2 here and 2v1 here, leaving Snog to determine if he's going to go east or south. He looks like he's going to divert southward to go after Karl Marx. And Terrari is just going to hang here for now. He has dropped some engineers over here to the west for that Trimex position that actually rightfully belongs to Hayden, to be fair. But he's going to grab that just due to the fact that it is kind of difficult for Hayden to get access to it because he has to go all the way around. But he could have easily just dropped the transport off, which, a lot of players do that. It's just hard to think about that in the moment sometimes. We do have the first upgrade started here. It is Nightblood at almost 6 minutes, going for range first. Definitely the best upgrade for Aeons to go for in terms of gun, either speed or range. Then because he can just sit there once his gun is upgraded, he'll go for speed next, because usually that's the upgrade. Or they'll go range and sensor package. Now let's see which ones he goes. Oh, well, nope, he's just going to move. Okay, well, he does neither of those. So thank you, Nightblood. Oh, there it is. I was going to say, is he going to go for it or not? But he does go for it. We haven't seen any comm-on-comm action as of yet. It does look like Snog is going to do essentially the same thing that his mirror of BRS is doing. His comm is in the middle, and most of his... Actually, no. BRS is just hanging out over here. But most of Snog's units are actually over here to the west. Are we going to see some movement from the comms for the air players? Not as of yet, but we have a small run-by here by Team 1 outbound from... Let's see, that is that the Wheelie? Or is that Snog? That is the Wheelie. Went after a couple of engineers here. It got all the way back. And looks like they were able to take out 1, 2, 3, 4 mexes over here. Actually, yeah, 1, 2, 3, and the engineer building the fourth one. And one up here. Maybe it wasn't being built. But that is a lot of harassment here on the east. Great move here by the Wheelie. Again, annoying Team 2. He knows he's not going to get lasting damage down, but something is better than nothing. And now the upgrades are popping off. Speed started for BRS. That will put him at a disadvantage in the beginning against Nightblood, especially with the speed range upgrade already on board. Speed range upgrade going on here for Snog, and speed range upgrade going on here for Karl Marx. Lots of upgrades here for the frontline players. The first, not really the first major land engagement. It's a lot of jostling back and forth. We have Babel pushing forward a little bit further. He probably should fall back, especially due to the fact that Aeon Sniper Commander, well, almost Aeon Sniper Commander, is nearby. And it does look like BRS needs to kick his ACU in gear and actually go for that upgrade, because the longer this goes on, the longer Team 1's Wheelie is just going to divert more more units on this eastern side while grouping up over here with Nightblood on this western side. You can see the units are now moving into the middle to intercept But this is going to put him at a disadvantage now with Nightblood pushing forward on this western side with these forces coming in to back him up. I would love to see the wheelie just say, hey, all these units, they're all yours. But he's trying to do double duty with doing... But to be fair, the micro is not like you're going from here all the way over here and then all the way over here. You're like, okay, I'm going to move here, move a little bit, can move over here, move a little bit. So it's very easy to go back and forth. Speed upgrade still going online. No, still progressing. But he's going to be slightly starting to be pushed out of range. We do see, again, Aurora versus Aurora. And again, with a almost Aeon Sniper Commander, those units are not really well matched for that, and they will be forced away. It does look like Babel is now being forced back to now intercept these units. The northeast corner now under the control of Team 1. The southeastern corner under control of Team 2. And at that moment, Karl Marx essentially doing the exact same thing or similar thing that Nightblood is doing, pushing on this side of the map. It does look like at the current moment, Team 1 will try to occupy the northern side of the map. Team 2 will occupy the southern side of the map. And we do see, again, Karl Marx is making his way forward. These production facility and mechs are going to be abandoned. T2 on the way here for Snog, and a bomber over top kind of being very annoying. That upgrade will finish off, but will be a little bit delayed due to the engineers being killed off. Advanced range started here. BRS just going to go for it. Nightblood and him have the same range, and BRS will cancel that upgrade and go, nah, I don't want to do that. Or at least don't engage right now. He probably could have gone... it would have been tough, especially now that Team 2's Babel doesn't really have a lot of forces on the ground to really mount any sort of defensive or counterattack for that Babel. Babel is moving in eastward, and this would give the wheelie a great opportunity to come in and intercept and surround Babel. The forces will be dealt with here by Babel's commander, but he doesn't have anything on board, which means he'll lose a lot of hit points here in this engagement just due to the fact that he's kind of surrounded. His units trying to come in and intercept, and now the attack has been given to move in and intercept, and this looks like it's going to be the first kill on the cards. The only thing that realistically will save him will be him walking southeastwardly, his teammate grabbing a T2 transport, hurriedly getting it over here, picking it up, and getting him out of there. But he's falling into the yellow here. And first come action was between the two Aeon commanders in the northeast. Team 2's Karl Marx and Team 2's Terrari's forces are pushing up against Team 1 on that western side. And now we see Nightblood moving in and trying to push back. But Babel will be the first gone, I think. Sub 500, gets a rank in veterancy, but doesn't matter because it's always based on how many hit points you have left at the moment. And there he goes. He is done and dusted. 11 minutes in this game, and Team 2 loses a player. BRS will inherit all of his forces, and still a T1 Mantis at 229 out of 336 veterancy going after T2 mechs. Just annoying. Annoying would be definitely the word that I would use for that. And now the attack will continue to go southward. This force will be dealt with pretty quickly, but it now has deprived BRS of his forces. Now BRS, with the assistance of the wheelie, will move in south and force BRS back. And again, it is a gamble, and now these forces moving in, taking out all those mechs, all those engineers, just being ripped to shreds. There are a couple of rhinos that can easily just intercept and deal with this, but looks like he hasn't managed to micro those yet, or at least be like, oh yeah, those are T2 units, I should move those in. In the southwest, looks like it's kind of died down a little bit. Now the attack, instead of Karl Marx moving in southwesterly, will now move northwest. And we'll run into some T2 PD. Kind of surprised not even see some T1. I do see a couple of Thams. There's a couple of Ilshis as well. So those will help force these units back. But they're just going to group together and then come in one full burst. Nano Repair coming on the way here for Karl Marx. Terrari going to push forward with his units now. And we do see in the north, Team 1's Nightblood pushing forward as well. BRS is retreating, but does have a lot of shields nearby. But will give him a decent boost in hit points. He has taken some hits. Nightblood is at 2 veterancy. He does have the advantage against his opponent of BRS. But BRS, again, has dual base now, so it has to be, the longer that goes on, the worse it's going to be here for Team 1's Nightblood, just due to the fact he'll be out-ecoed by his opponent. But it's the whole APM versus eco and all that nonsense. We have nano repair going on the way here for Karl Marx. As I mentioned, it's almost halfway done. The force did retreat, and now missile launchers are just going to rain fire from far away. But it looks like you need about triple the size of those missile launchers to really be effective. So, yeah, probably need some more in that regard. But the Southwestern player is kind of just hanging out. There is a sniper attempt from some gunships outbound from Brink. The shield pops online at the last second. We have Terrari had missile launcher T2 and gun on board that commander. He was almost killed off. It was a very good attempt. So close. Yep, that was very, very close. Good thing I caught that at the last second. That would have been very deadly here for Team 2 on the southern side, losing another player. Clown move, says L to the Aeon. I wouldn't say clown move. I mean, Team 1's Brink did a very good job. Had that shield not popped online when it did, that would have been it. Terrari is repping up pretty quickly, given the fact he does not have access to nanotech on board that commander. 38 hit points a second, and is going to suck up all of that wreck from those whalers. But would have been funny though. Yeah, I would have given that. Would have been. Yeah, I guess it would have been funny for Team 2 to lose 2 players within about 3 minutes of each other. That would have sucked for Team 2, especially the highest rated player. Regen Ore going on the way here for Karl Marx. He's going to be very aggressive with his commander. Missile launcher is nice to have on board, but Team 1 is building TMD to really deter that, so probably should exchange that for nano. That'd be probably the best idea. Maybe launch the last missile and then go for it. Maybe that's what I would do in that regard. But just T3 units online here. Some loyalists moving in, trying to force back these units, protecting this area here for BRS. Again, Team 1's idea is to force all of the units, at least from what I can gather, on Team 1's what they're doing is constantly attack both sides, force the units to just constantly go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and not really hold the line. We see BRS coming back, but it's just a fade. Nightblood wants him to engage. He wants to engage BRS. Nightblood nor BRS do have the gun range upgrade, the advanced range upgrade. So neither of them can really go at each other, and I feel like with Nightblood doing this constant back and forth, he should really go for that, because it would definitely give him a huge advantage in that regard. But Loyalists now taking out that group of T1 mixes once again for, I don't know, the 3rd or 4th time this game in 15 minutes. It does look like, again, all those forces having to retreat to intercept these Loyalists is giving a lot of room for Team 1 to play with. Team 2, on the other hand, can't do the similar move that's happening right now on the flip side of the map. So Team 2 is definitely not in the best situation right now, especially with constantly being raided by these Loyalists. They have EMP weapons on board, makes it very annoying for units coming in to really deal with them. I mean, there's the blue little shots that come out. You can see them right now. You can see the little lightning icon above that rhino. That's not every shot. I think it's like every 3 or 4 shots or something that the EMP goes off, or EMP, depending on how you pronounce it. I've heard it both ways. And in the Mishima Red vs. Blue, that's actually a joke throughout actually a decent amount of the show, at least the good seasons of the show, to be fair. But this nice group of Loyalists, Team 2 is not prepared for it. There's not a lot of T3 units online, not a lot of defenses either. There are a couple of Harbingers, but 2 Harbingers against a couple squads of Loyalists. Definitely not the great mixed match of tech there. And now BRS forced to just build a bunch of PD to defend himself on this western side. He's dropped into the yellow as well. Nightblood as well, but again, 4 veterancy versus 0. Yellow looks differently. Essentially, BRS's green is Nightblood's yellow is essentially how that works out. But now, Team 2 is hemmed into this side of the map. You can see essentially 50% of that northern map is owned by 50% of the map on the northern side is owned by Team 1, with a little bit of outcropping here on the south of that equator or meridian or whatever that you want to call it. We're starting getting into the main T3 stage of the game, where comms and units and whatnot are just being pumped out. Well, units are being pumped out constantly in the T3 range. Air grids are being pumped out and plumped out as well. Air grid about comparable between both of the air players. The air, it's slightly advantage of T2, just because Team 2 focused a little bit more on ASF production, while Team 1 focused on gunship production. a little bit. Team 2, of course, does have the Aeon player as a air player, so they have access to restorers, which are very, very, very annoying. They're just I hate them. I don't say hate strong word. I very, 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 very much dislike them. Very annoying. One more, very annoying. There we go. I think I've said enough fairies in that regard. It does look like the Southern players on Team 2 kind of playing defensively, obviously given the fact that Terrari was almost essentially assassinated. That would have been bad. But a couple of Authams on board that T2 transport are inbound. Looks like over in the... Oh, they move. Oh, they're going to be dropped. Oh, drop those units. There they go. The ASF, I don't know if they noticed it or not, but it was happenstance, or they noticed it, whatever the case may be. Transport drops them off. The Authams are saved. I think that's the advanced regen icon. I think that's the advanced regen icon is on board that commander. ASF are going to move in and take out that transport. Drops the Authams. They're all safe, but the transport is dead. It's just gotta hurt. At least the Authams were saved. But look at this pressure outbound from Team 1's the Wheelie and Nightblood. They're just forcing Team 2 to just fall back. I do like the Firebase lines of PD to protect BRS's commander. Harbingers and Bricks need to be pumped up. Authams actually as well being used. Looks like they were donated over by somebody. Does he have access to Seraphim Tech? No, so those were definitely donated over by somebody. Most likely Terrari or Karl Marx, because Ella the Alien can't do that. Oh, maybe they're downloaded. Yeah, they're donated from over here. But again, Team 2 is on the defensive, and when you're on the defensive in this game, scouting becomes very, very important. You need to know what's going on in that backline against in your opponent's minds, because we've seen in other games where the team that has a lot of map control and then just goes, I'm fine, I'll just stay here, eco up, build something, call it a day. Not usually wins, but they have a higher percentage of winning. Does look like there was another sort of attempt on... No, I guess it was just a scout maybe. I don't know. I saw a orange triangle down there and went, that's interesting. Might as well check that out. And it was nothing, apparently, because it was killed off immediately. But in the south, it does look like Karl Marx is going to just continue to push forward with his horde of T1 and T2 units. I see a lot of Thams. They're just going to overwhelm the defenses. At least that's his mindset. The calm of Snog is on the hillside over here, or on the plateau side. But, of course, we can't forget that Karl Marx has the regen aura on board that commander. And that thing is very annoying to deal with. You gain a lot of hit points a second regen for the units. And I think his idea is just to overwhelm his opponent with lower tiered units. You can see, look at the hit points just constantly regenerating 50 hit points a second on a non-upgraded Ilshi. That's huge. And you can see, look at the pressure he's getting off of that because of that. And now in the west side of things, Terrari doing a similar move, but without that regen aura, very similar to what happened in the north. And Snog is now going to be surrounded here. This base is gone. It's done and dusted. The transport does get landed, but does land its troops, but only one of them gets dropped off. But I guess one is better than losing all four. And there it goes. They're now going to split, trying to avoid the fire base here that Team 1's Hayden has built. And now all of the attack is going to go, at least most of it's going to go on Snog's commander. Most of these units will die in the calm explosion. But all those T2 mexes are down. Snog is in the red. And this will be the first kill here for Team 2 at 21 minutes, almost on the dot. Some of those Ilshis actually will survive that explosion, barely. But now they're going to move westward and actually try to go for a double kill on Hayden. There are a lot of defenses here in terms of how many units are left here for Karl Marx to use. But Terrari just decides, I'm not going to go for this base. I'm just going to go straight for it to the main base. And Hayden, he's starting to lose defenses. His shield is down. His emitter's down. The radar needs to go down as well. It would very limit the effectiveness of the PD. There it goes. There goes the radar as I say something. And dropping an... Oh, are you going to drop it? Oh, I thought we were going to drop on the top of the commander. That would have been funny. Oh. Wanted to see that. Looks like the ASF are coming in from L to the A on 2 assist. I don't know why, but I guess this is going to be an air battle over here. And Otham's moving and taking out T2 P-Gens. This is a great move here by Team 2. They needed this, especially because Team 1 has a huge advantage on that eastern front. Team 1 has lost a player. Team 1's other player in the west of Hayden is being forced back severely. He has a Harbinger trying to do what it can, but against the just harassment from the Seraphim regen or nonsense commander of Karl Marx and the assistance from Terrari, this base is gone. Essentially 2 players' base are killed off. That's got to, well, 1 main base and soon to be a second base, to be fair, because Snog is dead. So there's that. But there is attack in the east at the same time here by Team 1. Firebasing war is now in full effect here between Team 1 and Team 2 on this eastern side. Fortunately, Team 2 has the advantage just due to the fact they've been on the defensive for so long and are trying to, you know, they're not being forced back. It's more of a back and forth. Nightblood has that shield and gun. And there goes Hayden's commander. He was trying to retreat, but again, in the face of a regen or a commander with a bunch of T2 Ilshis, you're not really going to go anywhere, to be fair. So it is now a 3v2, sorry, 3v2, 3v4 in favor of Team 2. There is a Monkey Lord that has been constructed here, and Team 2 is probably aware of that, I would assume. They're going to be aware of that in a couple of seconds. Yep, there it is. But there are gunships inbound here from Brink, and there's not a lot of AA. There's some AA, and there is some ASF that can easily be diverted over here. Karl Marx, again, 114 hit points, 21,000 hit points on board, and Nightblood has been defeated by BRS. Looks like BRS pushed back against that Aeon Sniper Commander, and now it's a 2v4 in favor of Team 2, and that is not looking good, but they might get a kill on Karl Marx's commander here. He can't get on a transport. He needs one desperately. There's a transport over here, but that's owned by somebody else, by Terrari. And the Monkey Lord is just going to go for it here. And, yeah, I mean, are they trying to find the commander? I don't know what Brink is doing. He can see the commander. He can see him on his vision, but I don't know. It does get pinged by Nightblood, because Nightblood is now dead. So he can be a man in the chair. ASF's coming in to protect that commander of Karl, but all the Ilshis essentially have been dealt with, at least most of them. And now that Monkey Lord is going to turn his sights onto him. His long-range cannon is in range, and transport is inbound. Going to hot drop some Othams and overcharge into the chassis of that. Monkey Lord takes out a lot of hit points. The transport gets taken out, but the Monkey Lord also gets taken out. But unfortunately, another wave of gunships is inbound, but it does get shooed away by ASFs from Team 2. So Karl Marx will survive. It is a 2v4 scenario here, as I mentioned. And at 24.5 minutes, let's go over what the situation is overall. Team 1 producing 1.3k mass per second. Team 2 at 1.5. Team 2 has 4 players left. Team 1 has 2 players left, losing 3 of them essentially within the span of 5 to 6 minutes. It's 7, maybe 7 minutes. 2 of them lost on the western side. 1 of them lost on the eastern side. A lot of that momentum for Team 1 on that western side has been severely muted, whatever. Nullified. Essentially, it's like they gained some ground, but they lost what they had over here. Team 2 has a lot of room to play with now, and it's looking exactly like I mentioned earlier. Team 1 has the northern side. Team 2 has the southern side. And since it's a mirrored map, essentially it's the same thing anyways. So, you know, that's just how it works. And with 2 players left, they are very good players. The highest rated player, Wheelie, is still alive, and Brink is also alive. So, you know, the players on Team 1 are nothing to scoff at. Team 2 needs to take them seriously. They're not like, oh, it's fine, we got 4 players left, we can take it slow. No, like, these players have both been known to do very well. So, you know, in my opinion, it doesn't matter if your opponent is 400, 500, 2,000 rating points above you or 2,000 rating points below you. You fight them as your equal, and you fight them as if they know better than you. Assume they're smarter than you, and you try to outsmart them, and you'll do a lot better than just being cocky and like, oh, I know better, I'll be fine, nah. But It doesn't really work out. So just do it because you get overconfident, you overextend, and then you die. So. But it does look like Karl Marx getting the Nano Advanced Repair upgrade on board, which is going to be a lot of hit points for him. And make him even more annoying to deal with on that western side here for Team 2. Nano Repair now going on the way here for Terrari now that the missile launcher is kind of not really important. And he doesn't probably want to move his commander all the way up here to make it somewhat effective. So definitely the smart move from Terrari transitioning to Nano. Hey, we got a GC here, says Team 1. Hayden. Yeah, you do. It's half built, but it's there. So it does look like engineers are being diverted to start or restart the construction process of that. Chicken also being built by Brinko Insanity as well. Does look like some of those assets from the wheelie have been diverted to him, or at least from other teammates have been diverted to him. But a nuke launcher in the rear here for Team 1's Brink. That's going to be pretty big, especially at 27 minutes. Looks like Team 1 starting to think about how to end the game with nuclear hellfire. Team 2 do not have SMD, question mark? Yes, for Terrari, and that is it. So Team 2 is very vulnerable, especially the air grid. So Team 2 definitely needs to get one online sooner rather than later. And they do know about it. So it's not like they're not aware that the thing exists. They're definitely aware of it. It does like Mega coming my side. Can't hold, says BRS. Starting laser since... Okay, so Brink is starting the laser on board his commander. Doesn't have any of the other upgrades, but just laser first. But that crab is inbound, as stated by BRS. And that front line is now collapsing. That's now the counterattack to the counterattack that happened earlier. And Team 2's nice bubble shield in terms of shields or personal shields. Sorry, in terms of bubble shields, personal shields, or whatever, what have you. SACU being transported over here is an advanced combat preset commander outbound from Terrari. Going to be probably used to assist with defensive measures on this eastern side. T2 tickle cannons being used on this side to just kind of, again, tickle their opponents. And I call them tickles because essentially that's what it feels like to be shot by them, especially when you have a 110,000 hit point unit. Is it's essentially being tickled. Loyalists, eventually you can kill them off, obviously due to the fact I just watched one die to that. But all the bricks and loyalists, that little line isn't really going to do much. But it's a crab versus bubble shield. The all-important battle of shield versus range, and unfortunately the range will win out sooner rather than later. You can see the attack is imminent. Does look like the crab goes, nope, not falling back. It's going to regroup with the bricks here in the east. And gunships are inbound, restores as well. This might be the first major air fight of the game, and now in the west there is a counterattack of a bunch of engineers. Not yet farms, big blunder, GC gift. Oh, says, what? Oh, giving over to the wheelie. Probably should have that in Brink's hands. But the Restorer is actually going after the AA, which is very smart because, again, shoot at the stuff that can shoot at you and then shoot at everything else. There's more of that over here to the north. Stop telling me about the mass fabs. I do not care about the mass fabs. Please stop telling me about the mass fabs. How's the nuke? It is half loaded or half not. Take your pick. Team 2, do you have SMD? Yes, SMD is online and it's half loaded, which means it will be fine before that nuke is launched here by Team 1. And lots of chat, lots of stuff going on in chat. Farms. But there go the loyalists. There go the restorers. There go all the nonsense here. We love nonsense in FAF because the more nonsense, the more fun it is to cast. We have ASF fight over to the west. Looks like the ASFs are inbound here from Brink. And they're going to overwhelm those restorers. But here come the ASFs here from L to the Aeon. And those restorers, they're not known for their air-to-ground fire, but they're known for their air fire. And strap bombers are inbound with ASFs nearby. Probably not the best idea, L to the Aeon. I get what you were doing. You're trying to like slow down that incoming force, but should have waited like a couple of seconds because now all those bombers are dead. So there is a decent amount of creeping T3AA coming out from the wheelie as well. And he's building more crabs up here, which one was almost finished off. It's in the green. And there's a lot of Seraphim preset commanders down here building some essentially the Rambo comms, building some artillery as well. They can deter the T4 slow-moving crab, which is the megalith. Okay, kill the megalith. Go in. Strat bombers going after something. Going after some loyalists. It looks like the loyalist, which is known for their EMP, got EMP'd. Definitely how it works. The strat bombing has commenced here from Team 2's Elder the Aeon, trying to get maximum damage by trying to land in the middle of units. But as they fly by or fly past, it's they get a lot of AA, and it doesn't really go very well. But Team 1 bombers are going to be used in lieu of that because they're cheaper and they're cheaper. That's the reason. In the south, Team 2 is being pushed back by Chicken and Colossus and a lot of brick walls. Karl Marx, of course, has advanced nano and advanced regen. At least that should be what's on that commander. Yup, that is advanced regen. That's what I thought. Nope, I heard AoE explosions. Oh, there's preset commanders. Okay. Hey, please. I know Giles made the comment about it. Please change the noise for those things because it confuses me and it confuses a lot of people. Anyway, the Chicken is inbound. Karl is in the yellow, but again, 270 hit point regen on board that commander, trying to dodge the best he can, and the bricks, again, being very, very annoying to deal with. Obviously, it's very beneficial for his shots to go through his friendly shields. Definitely always nice. But there goes an Autumn being scooped up by those suction arms. And the crab in the east has been taken out, as we saw, but another one has come to replace it. And the PD and artillery is being whittled down very, very quickly here on this eastern side. It has turned from a very, not slow-moving T2 stage to a very quick T3 stage. And Karl Marx is in full retreat. Run, my children, run. There from Commander in full retreat. There is 3 of the 5 land experimentals in the game on screen currently. Of course, the UEF isn't currently in the game, and the Monkey Lord is also not on screen. Overcharge goes into the chassis of the Chicken, and some preset commanders coming with that overcharge and kill off the Chicken. But the Colossus is in range. The Colossus needs to keep moving or Karl Marx will get out of range. Overcharges go into that chassis of that Colossus, and I couldn't really speak because I was like, oh, the hit points. Wow. They got taken out real quickly. That's nasty. Nasty little advanced combatant preset commanders. Nasty. Again, that regen ore still helping on his units nearby. 120 hit points a second on board that Autumn. Nuts. But the nuke is outbound. Does get shot down. I thought... Wait. Did I not hear that go off? That's weird. That might be something I have to investigate. I did mess with a lot of the settings between when I was having those issues earlier to getting the 4K monitor and whatnot. So that is the thing I need to do work out. Is I swear I should be hearing strategic launch detected from that nuke launcher. So I'll have to look at that. But the crab now being swarmed by shields over here. Again, personal and bubble versus just a big giant crab. And it does look like the big giant crab is not faring well because that's a lot of shields to chew through. Shields plus environment plus everything. Crab go bye-bye. There are some PD in the mix as well. And yeah, that fight does not look like it's going to go Team 1's way. The major group of them is down here in terms of the shielding. And it's making it just annoying for Team 1 to chew through. There's 3,500 hit points per shield. So it takes a while. And you can see that crab will die. There are some bricks here, but once the crab is dead, that's it. And there are some gunship support as well. So Team 2 will hold on that eastern side due to the horde of shields that they have built. Of course, I have always said you cannot have enough shields. You can never have enough shields. And even if every single square inch of the map is covered in shields, you still do not have enough shields. I do not care. Because one nuke with no SMD plus one nuke equals death. So, yes. So also SMD important, but shield. It's so many shields. It's going to be pushed again by Team 2's BRS, but unfortunately there's now dual crab and a lot of spam to chew through. So probably should retreat that army, which is going to be chewed up now by those crabs. How much reclaim is currently on the map? Because I saw mass being shared. 198,000 mass, so almost enough mass on the entire map to build literally anything, in almost enough mass to build anything in this game. And most of it, obviously where you would expect it, over here and over here. But I see 3 orange circles to the west. Actually 4, excuse me. 2 chickens, a crab, and a colossus. Looks like there might be more on the way. Yep, there's one on the way and more being built as we speak. Teleporter coming online here for Brink. He wants to make sure he has access to some nasty tools that the Cybrans like to play. Love the hearts here from the wheelie. Always gotta love your opponent, love yourself, love your teammates. Need help, says Karl Marx. And the gunships are inbound. T2 Spectres. The AA on board those chickens, not great. They're good for like T1 bombers. That's better. But Chicken and Colossus versus Aeon Preset Commander, sorry, Seraphim Preset Commanders get annihilated. The overcharge on board those Preset Commanders, nasty. That's nasty is what happened to that. It's just hurting the crab. The chicken, well, the crab died. The chicken died. One of the Preset Commanders died. But those Seraphim Preset Commanders are just, man, those things are nasty. And Team 2's Terrari doesn't, I mean, he's caring about T4 units and T3 units, but he is pumping out those Seraphim Preset Commanders. He used them over in the east to help defend. And man, those things just, ouch, they hurt. They are inbound and they are not stopping any. Look at that! Look at that! Look at that! Look at that nonsense! See that? All those overcharges swarming that thing. I'm gonna watch the Colossus just get swarmed. Oh, that. Never mind. He just gets tapped by a overcharge, and now all those experiments in Step 1 are dead. And this western side is really opening up here for Team 2. And Team 2's Karl Marx goes, I'm just gonna full send it down the middle. Kills off the chicken. Gets some lightning to the face. He doesn't care. Actually, he might care. 270 hit points a second, but took a ton of hit points to the face. This hurts. Oh, it hurts. It's like, out, get it away. I don't need any rogue ions everywhere. In the east, the pressure is still on. A crab is breaking through. More crabs coming to assist. A bunch of T3, T2, and T1 spam coming out of the wheelie. And now we have a crab coming in to intercept those forces for Karl Marx. If Karl Marx went for it, he would have died. And that would definitely be echoed by the fact that please don't let your ASF sit next to enemy units. Not the best idea. Would not recommend. Hashtag would not recommend. But in the east, like I said, those crabs are pushing. There's also a monkey or two in the mix as well. The shields can only last for so long. And let's see what else is going on. How's that nuke going? In the nuke is almost loaded once again. Do we have any sort of experimental T4 artillery, nuke launchers, whatnot being built? That is a nice plump air grade here for Team 2's air player. I saw a bomber being built as well. We have nice mass FAF farms going down here, and the quantum gateway is being built. Hovatham is almost built, actually. Okay, so two things. One, I do appreciate the fact that he's using the shield next door. Do appreciate that. Second thing, why not just build a P-gen so you can make it shoot faster? But I mean, he's pumping that whole. Wow, that's a lot of. How much mass do you have? Oh, he has 13,000 in the clip. That would explain it. Oh, now okay. So you're gonna. Why? Why do it that way? Why not just build the 4 P-gens here and then build the other 2 there? That's going up real quick, though. The 1 T3 artillery is online, and those SACUs are not stopping. Run in the face of those SACUs. Look at those. Look at those things go. Look at them. Look at them. Oh, there's just nonsense. Nonsense is what that is. And they're just going to spam up some, what, T3 shields. What are you going to build here? Just T3 AA? I think those are T3 AA emplacements, right? Nope, they're T2 artillery. Now moving into the west here, Team 2's Terrari pushing forward. Karl Marx going to come and assist with his, of course, advanced regen or nonsense Seraphim commander. But the eastern side is collapsing. Essentially, it's a race against time for Team 1 and Team 2. Team 1 needs to break the eastern side. Team 2 needs to break the western side. And we have Mercies for like the first time in forever. Inbound. We have them inbound. I like the new splash animation. I don't know if I've noticed that, but they're lingering too, which is really cool. Because I know they changed them a while back where they're not essentially high single fire damage. But Mercies are coming back. This might be the thumbnail. Just due to the fact, look at them. Look at those Mercies. They're coming back. They're coming back. Maybe they got a buff or something. I don't know. But look at all those engineers gonna die. Oh nope, they didn't get the execution order in time. Look at that all splash damage though. That's a nice little ring effect. Chicken. Want to point something out. You're walking up against 3 crabs. Not the best idea. Are there more Mercies for me to look at? Nope, there's a horde of gunships though. Oh, there's no more Mercies. Anyway. In the west, chickens are retreating, but they're only retreating in the face of the fact that they have the massive amount. Look at that nonsense. The nonsense. They should be on auto command to, throw those overcharges out. Just a ridiculous nonsense those things are. Nice low farm, says Elder the Aeon. What's the one? I call it greedy. What's the mass currently still on the field? 311,000. I don't think we'll get to 1 million like some games, but we're working there. We're getting our way there. Awasa Bomber is inbound. All those engineers, are they the main target? No, they're after the crab, and that thing's going to take some hit points. Oh, that's gotta hurt. But there's a lot of flak and that's a lot to fly on through. So that bomber is going to be a primary target here. Gunships inbound. How many do we have in this mix here? Oh. We have 20 and 88. So over 100 gunships. Our sub bomber is going to force back these crabs at least a little bit. 14,000 down to 5. And then still being forced back. Yeah, okay, so it is working. I probably just didn't hear it. Huh, weird. But our at least the nuke got off though. At least the nuke was launched right before the artillery rained in. Third one being built as we speak by Terrari. I think he just has to pump out the mass. But here we go. Here's the Seraphim preset commanders. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4 monkeys and a crab. And they're going to rip those things to shreds is what they're going to do. There go the 2 chickens that they were escorting. The nuke lands down here. I don't think it killed anybody. No, I think everybody got out of the way. Oh, I think it was going after the preset commanders. But those 2 monkeys insta dead. No joke, right? Jeez. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monkeys, 2 chickens, and there's a crab left, and a partridge and a pear tree. Those combat. I know, really, right? Let's see. I thought Seraphim ACU, like the main commander, was OP. Seraphim Advanced Preset Commander SACUs, way OP. Like, jeez. They each have 29,000 hit points, 265 regen, which means they have essentially as much as the main commander does. Half the hit points, though. My SACUs don't move. Artillery raining in will force back the SACUs, but even if a couple artillery shells hit them, doesn't really matter. The artillery rained in from Team 2's Terrari, now focusing on a different target. Going to build his 4th one here pretty soon. Targeting the experimentals here for Team 1's the wheelie. Here comes the Awasa Bomber inbound. He's not going to be great just because it's a little spread out, but we'll get some damage on the monkey at least. Walking through, T2, shoot, what's the T2 artillery miasma fire? That's never great. Colossi on the eastern side. Lots and lots of experimentals being built very, very quickly. Gunships are inbound. What? What? They're weird. They're attacking nothing for some reason. There they come. They are inbound gunships just hoarding around that crab. And here comes the T4 bomber inbound. Nice little angle of attack there. That goes spins around or turns around. Monkey is in full retreat. Crabs are in full retreat. Artillery, T3, mind you. Both of those just hurt. Both of those, I can feel those impacts. They hit the experimental. All those engineers are dead. So much mass. What's the reclaim like? Team 1, 419,000. Team 2, 300,000. Close to 7,000 mass total in this. 7 million mass total between both teams. That is a ton of mass. Most of the reclaim for Team 1 obviously resides with the wheelie just due to the everything going on screen on the eastern side of the map. And Team 2's Terraria getting a major chunk of that with BRS, considering he is on that eastern front as well. I feel like the artillery could be focused on something else, Terraria, but I guess he's just having fun going after those. Awasa bomb lands, takes out a nice line of T3 bricks, does impact on a megalith. That's gotta hurt, but be able to shake that off relatively easy. ASFs are on a collision course for it, and it's not. No, there's now a fourth and now a fifth artillery coming into construction. The ASFs don't care. They're just going to go for it. And that bomber is dead. Goodbye. ASFs are going to meet the ASFs here from Team 2 only if they were fast enough. They could have saved that bomber. But those ASFs are on a mission to kill both of those Awasas. No, they won't get the second one. They don't have enough time to turn around. Well, they got one of them. I don't think that was worth the ASF dying off, but I guess it was worth it to Brink, because why not? The SACUs is Terrari income 1K. That's lol, says Hayden. 1.3. Oh, I mean, Hayden wasn't that far off, to be fair. I think if Terrari got some Rascoms, then probably, but he's going for combat preset, which is honestly the more unnerving, because the overcharge ability on these things are again nasty. And there go artillery from those Huffathams. Oh, no, hold on. Yeah, Huffathams. Again, the Huffthums, again, the only reason I confuse the Huffathams and the Huffthums is because their names are so similar. Stop it. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 monkeys, 2 crabs, and a partridge and a pear tree. It's not Christmas time, but that's just whenever I start listing stuff off like that in numbers, I always think of that song. Shield's trying to hold back the wave, but the monkeys are on the move. The monkeys are on the move, and those monkeys are looking very annoyed. Actually, there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, excuse me. There are 10 monkeys, not 8. And artillery still raining in, and this eastern side is going to collapse. It is not a matter of if, but when, and that when is soon. That win is soon. T2 and T3 gunships intermixing here for defensive measures. Lines of PD, lines of artillery, lines of anything and everything Team 2 can throw at this attack that is inbound. Gunships are just going to go for it. And I feel like the monkeys are definitely the better target. The crab going to sit there and just use its range advantage to force back the Colossus. The ASFs from Team 1's Dewini are going to engage, but not really do a whole lot. They're trying to go after the gunships, but there's just so many ASFs here for Team 2, it won't really matter. 1 monkey is down. 2 monkeys are down. 2 Awasa bombers are inbound. That's going to hurt. Oh, I think they'll get some gunships in the mix. Actually, they do get a lot of gunships in that mix. Oh, but 2 monkeys are now severely wounded. More monkeys coming in from the west. Oh, another 2 monkeys dead. Colossi now coming in to engage now that the monkeys are closer range, and they're closer actually to the Colossus as well. Awasa bomber is now going in for another pass. Do the bombs launch? Yes, they don't. T3 artillery fire raining in from Terrari. That crab is down. The monkeys are falling. Oh, there goes another one. Oh, there goes another one. And there goes another one. Oh, that is so much mass. That is so much mass. How much exactly? Okay, so just on screen. Oh, 200,000. Total 345,000. So there's essentially double the mass on the eastern side of the map than there is on the western side of the map. And looks like the Wheelie just control K is going, nah, I'm kind of done with this match. Hope you realize the only reason why we're in the game is because Terrari is having 5 T3 artillery shooting my T4s. And in the heart, he dies. It is the one player left on Team 1. Brink will inherit the rest of that army and air force and everything. Feel like Team 1, I got 250. That's a lot of mass. And 41,000 in storage. That's you have 300,000 mass. Jeez. That's a lot. That's just a lot of mass for both team for Terrari. That is how many do you have, Terrari, in terms of SACUs? I want to know. You have, I think that's, it looks like that's all of them. 26. That's actually, well, I guess they are pretty expensive, to be fair. Yeah, 256,000 mass. Jeez, that's so much. So much. That is, again, to put that in perspective, that is enough for literally anything in this game. Paragon, Babor, YOLO. And here's the latch ditch attack here from Team 1. And again, Seraphim SACUs are OP. Overcharge OP. There goes another monkey. The monkey is DED, but there's a lot of cascading going on here for Team 1. Actually, for Team 2. Oh, nope, there goes the third monkey. And, yeah, nope, there goes that grab's dead too. And the SACUs, again, if they bunch together, will die very quickly due to the cascading from the explosions from the SACUs. Again, not as bad as a ACU, the main armored command unit, but still, can do a lot. It's especially hard to watch that when SACUs, like RAS conversions, die. It's just because that's just, you know, tens or hundreds of mass just gone. But I think at this point we can speed the game up because you can kind of tell which way it's going. Team 1 has a couple of experimentals left online. Respect, says Elder the Aeon. I lost 60,000 in boys. And it does look like Team 1's Brink just says, nah, I'm gone, see you, bye. Oh, was he down here? He was down here. Oh, I guess maybe he died to bombers? I don't know. I want to reclaim this, says Elder the Aeon. But that is the game. And I feel like for MVPs or MUPs, I feel like MVP is not really needed just due to the fact that I mean, everyone's at least 1,400 and above. So, do I give it to the SACU boys? I mean, because they're right there. They're right there. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the pressure from Team 1 died with Nightblood. If Nightblood had still been alive, this attack would have been, it would have gone a lot better. It would have happened a lot sooner. I think this collapse on this eastern side, Terrari still would have been annoying to deal with, but the eastern side would have collapsed a lot sooner. I feel like had Nightblood not overextended more than he probably should have. But definitely, I think Terrari, I mean, the fact that he pumped out all of those SACUs, I mean, maybe they'll get nerfed. I don't know. But that is nonsense. But let me know down in the comments how you felt. Obviously, he's my vote for MPP, by the way. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment down below. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. And I will see all of you in the next one.